You know that constant throbbing pressure in your head? The kind that just completely derails your day. Yeah, whether it lasts for a few hours or, drags on for days, it is just absolutely exhausting. Well, welcome to this quick explainer. Today, we're diving into a highly effective, but honestly kind of overlooked way to finally conquer this pain. Managing migraines and headaches through physiotherapy. The very first hurdle to getting relief is knowing exactly what's pounding away inside your head. Like, are migraines and headaches actually the same thing? A lot of people just use the terms interchangeably, but treating a migraine like a standard headache, man, that is a fast track to frustration. They literally require entirely different approaches.
Let's really break down the difference here. A standard headache usually brings this milder, kind of widespread pressure across your forehead or scalp. It's annoying, for sure, but it often fades if you just get some rest. Migraines, on the other hand, they are intense. We're talking about a stubborn, pulsating pain that's usually isolated to just one side of your head. Plus, they often bring along some really awful extras, like nausea and severe sensitivity to light and sound. It's a whole different beast.
But here's where it gets interesting. Despite those massive differences, they actually share some surprisingly similar root causes. Beyond the usual suspects like poor sleep, sudden weather changes, or dehydration, the real culprits are very often physical. I'm talking neck pain, poor posture, pinched nerves, jaw pain, stress, and muscle weakness. But hey, here is the great news. Because these are physical triggers, they're entirely treatable.
Let's move along and see how this builds. When you go to a physical therapist, they don't just guess, they play detective to pinpoint the exact cause. First, they evaluate the specific location and severity of your pain. Then, they track your timeline and triggers. And finally, they make sure to note any accompanying symptoms. This structured, step-by-step clinical assessment is absolutely critical to unlocking the exact right treatment for you.
All right, once they've got that diagnosis, physiotherapist steps in to relieve all that built-up stress. Through targeted neck and upper back mobility exercises, deep stretching, and postural correction, your therapist helps restore proper function. They might even use spinal manipulation, do some neck core training, or help you modify your workplace technique so you aren't straining yourself at your desk. The best part? You aren't just masking the symptoms anymore. You're actively strengthening those weak areas and releasing joint tension to prevent the pain from ever coming back.
So, what does this all mean for you? Well, it brings us to a really provocative question to end on. Why keep waiting for the pain to just fade away when you could actually treat the root cause? Look, popping a pill and hiding out in a dark room might briefly dull the ache, but we all know it won't fix the underlying muscle weakness or joint tension that's actually triggering it. So challenge yourself, seek out a permanent physiotherapy solution, and take back control of your days. Thanks so much for joining me for this quick explainer, and hey, stay curious.